Welcome to the program on principles of supply chain management. Here we will continue with other aspects of supply chain management in the operation perspectives. You need to understand various manufacturing strategies used in organization and how they are going to help in terms of customer service as well as inventory management. There are predominantly four types of manufacturing strategy. One is called make to order. So here, based on forecast, you are going to do assembly of the product and then push it to the customer or retailer store. This happens based on the forecast, and possibly here the customer wants the item immediately. They are not willing to wait, and this is the case for most of the organization. They do a forecast, manufacture product and push it to the distribution circle, because they are not possible to do the product within the customer expected time. I may consider 70% of the organization worldwide they use this make to stock policy. This has the higher inventory level, but good customer service level in terms of goods availability. Next end is made to order. You are going to start the production only after receiving the order, but here you should have a process in such a way that you are going to complete all your production and supply to the customer within his expected time. For example, if you say within 2 weeks I am going to deliver, then you are going to assemble the component and deliver to the customer. Possibly here you are going to keep some raw material inventory. Only after order you are going to start it. This may be a preferred process, but we do not have technology to enforce this methodology, because the time required to manufacture a product as per customer requirement requires more time, and customer is not willing to wait. Okay, you take an example of ordering through any online platform, either through Walmart or Amazon. It's all made to stock. Nobody wants to wait. Item is ready, but it is lying in some warehouses. So e-commerce platform is only trying to pull that item and dispatch it to you. Very few products are happening, especially when the customer wants as per his specification. Then we can have make to order strategy. Coming to next method is assemble to order, some via media. So you are going to keep items ready in semi-finished condition. Once the order comes, you take a very little time in doing final assembly and dispatching to the customer. I feel 20% of the organization may be following this. This also depends upon how fast you are able to assemble and give it to the customer. There is one more other extreme called engineer to order. Here this is used specifically for special product, unique product. You want something to be built, designed and built as per your requirement. So here there is no inventory. You are going to start the design process only after receiving the order. After designing, you are ordering the material and getting. There are a lot of advantage, disadvantage, and you can apply this only in some special instances. Inventory is lower, but the lead time is going to be high, but you will have entire variety because the design is at a nascent stage, and you are going to make the product as per the customer requirement. Now the market wants though different varieties, and if you want to optimize your cost, either inventory or manufacturing cost, you should go in a demand driven manner, which means you should produce the goods only when the order is there, but when the order comes you should be possible to assemble quickly and deliver it. But this is where most of the industry is lagging, because of our process takes time. Okay, but ideally what is required is market driven production strategies, like either make to order or assemble to order. Those things are called pull methodology, whereas make to stock is called push methodology. You are doing as per the forecast, doing production and then push it to the market. But on the other hand, in pull technology, only after you receive the order, you start your manufacturing work, which means that you should have a shorter lead time. Many organizations, they do a combination of push and pull. Maybe at to certain level they push as per the forecast, then wait for the customer order. Possibly this could be assembled to order manufacturing strategy. So every organization need to decide what model they are going to adopt to service their customer, and accordingly inventory planning differs in each of the model. And you should keep in mind that the customer expected lead time also matters while you are selecting a specific model. Now with the onset of e-commerce, every customer wants the item immediately, if not next day. They want at the earliest possible time. So this has to be built in your manufacturing strategy. Coming to the next important subdomain in supply chain is PPC, production planning and control. This is more of a operational level. You are going to coordinate with the production people, prioritize your daily requirement. There may be lot of issues on the operational level. For example, a particular material has not come, or it is rejected, a skilled operator is not there, a machine is down. So you are going to take care of such operational issue in the planning, ultimately still meeting the customer requirement. Many job opportunities are there in PPC planning, and you are coordinating the production function as per the customer requirement on day-to-day basis. Okay, more of a coordination work, prioritizing things, and taking care of day-to-day requirement. Also the focus is on effective utilization of resources. Resources could be machinery and equipment, or even it could be the labor force. Okay, so these are the important activities of PPC. Coming to the next activity in supply chain is sourcing. You may be aware of the different terms, sourcing versus procurement versus purchasing. Though many organizations are interchangeably using these three words together, interchangeably, but they have a specific meaning and purpose. If we take a sourcing, it's a long term strategic decisions are made, like which kind of supplier, what kind of rate, what commodity, where it is available. So some type of a collaboration, alliances, all this is a sourcing activity. On the other hand, when you come to purchasing, it's a execution. Somebody has already selected a supplier, so I am just going to do the ordering. It may be like converting PR to PO, and mostly manual clerical work, and also it can be automated. Okay, whereas the intermediate procurement is you are finalizing the supplier rate, all that. Okay, so you need to understand these different concepts of purchasing. In this sourcing, you need to also understand something called project matrix. You may be having hundreds of vendors supplying thousands of material, but all material and vendors are not critical. There are some material which is going to make a high impact, and supply is also difficult, such as called critical material. Some are called leverage material, some are called operational material. So different kind of material or vendors has to be treated differently. In case of critical material, you need to have some type of a long term relationship, strategic partnership. So all this analysis has to be done even before deciding on a particular vendor. This is where a vendor development concept is there in many of the organization. It's also called SRM, supplier relationship management. Many time it's a partnership which is working in the supply chain. If you have a better cooperation with the vendor, then you will be able to operate with the lower inventory and provide a better service to the customer. Coming to vendor performance measurement, you should know how to develop the vendors and retain the good vendors. If some vendors are not developing, then possibly you have to replace them on a periodical basis. So you should know what are the metrics being used in that. Then one of the important aspect in sourcing is make or buy. Whether you should you do certain activity in-house or should you outsource. Okay, that's what is the make or buy decision. Here something called core competency comes into play. A core competency is something, a special skill which you are able to do better than outside organization, and such thing you should keep in house. Every organization has their own competency if they are in the business. So you need to identify such core competency and develop them. Whereas if you feel there are somebody outside your organization have a better knowledge or capability they are able to do at a lower price, then you need to outsource them. There are a lot of benefits available in outsourcing because you can focus on your core activity and allow somebody else who is a specialist in the field to do that work. But there are some caution is required because you are outsourcing some process, possibly there is a loss of technology, or if you are outsourcing some product which requires trademark or patent, you are of course lose that. In any of the purchasing decision, something called landed cost or TCO is being used. TCO means total cost of ownership. Landed cost is in the procurement a purchase price is something different, but landed cost is delivery to your premises. It may not matter much if you are procuring from local sources, but if this item is coming from a far off sources, then transportation, insurance cost is involved. In case of a import, it may also involve customs duty and other handling charges. So you need to compare the landed cost among various parties when you are finalizing the supplier. That is the price at which you are going to get the price in your gate. But what is developing is something called TCO, total cost of ownership. Not only the procurement prices but operating price for this product. After you get this product, how continuously you are able to use the product with minimum of expenditure. So there are a lot of methods available in calculating both landed cost or TCO, and when only you have the total comparison, you can select a proper supplier. Okay. Coming to next important subdomain in supply chain management is logistic. In fact, logistic is growing its influence in supply chain management. One of the important activity in logistic is warehousing. Especially, lot of e-commerce platform they are mainly in a logistic type of activities. So you need to understand what kind of warehouses being used, what is the purpose. Earlier, traditionally, it was only for the storage of goods, but now there are a lot of value added work is being done. Important activity could be maintaining the integrity of inventory inside the warehouse. Okay. The system stock should always match with the physical stock. This is the responsibility of warehouse executives. Okay. Then there are a lot of process involved, starting from receiving the item, then you are going to do inspection, then GRN, then putting away, then picking, packing, dispatching. So you need to understand various processes involved there. and this is one area where you are using lot of labor, possibly unskilled labor. So you need to know how to manage them effectively so that the utilization is better. We will come back in the next session and discuss about further aspects of warehousing. Thanks for watching. Bye.